What do you think about the idea that here in Chico, I don't know if it's throughout the whole county, but here in Chico, at least I understand now that the police are working hand in hand with social workers to kind of walk through some of these situations and work hand in hand with these social workers to try to mitigate some of these situations where you may have somebody who's mentally ill, who is maybe having an issue, and maybe the social worker will help ameliorate that problem rather than the police. Is that a good idea, do you think?
Absolutely. I think that police officers are under a tremendous amount of stress, pressure, and oversight at all times. Remembering most of them are really dedicated to their job and do a great job, and a few mess up. They're under continuous mental pressure, and I'm not condoning any type of shooting or overstepping by the police, but they're not trained as well as a mental health expert would be, and maybe it's a client they've seen. So to be able to afford to have, if there's a mental health crisis, to have somebody there that could counsel the person or knows them or understands how they think, it should help the police and our society and those mentally ill people that are in that situation. I think it's a good pilot program. If we have the funding, I'd like to see it go countywide. But remember, the sheriff is an elected official with his own, he's constitutionally protected. The board doesn't tell him what to do. I think Corey, though, is a very progressive and mindful sheriff, and he'd probably like to do it too, but I'm not speaking for him.
You talked about the budgetary issues of homelessness, and you have a lot of homelessness in your district. To label a really broad term, I mean, you have some mental health people, you have some veterans, you have some people down on their luck from fires and whatnot, people displaced. But it seems like, from what I'm hearing from you, you also represent those people as well, and you seem to have, you seem to take them under the umbrella too as well in some of your decisions. Is that fair that they are represented by you too?
They are, but there's a point. The pendulum has swung from, in my opinion, what research I've done, in the 1960s, we institutionalized somebody because we thought they drank too much, or they had, they were upset at their children or whatever. We'd put them in a mental hospital. It was crazy. It was crazy. But, the pendulum has swung so far that the mentally ill are not, the seriously mentally ill cause a lot of crime. And they're the people we have the most problem, but we don't have beds for them. So I think as a society, we need to pay the money, build the bed space, get them the counseling, and make them take their medication if necessary, get them off the streets and keep them safe and keep society safe. And that's a hard decision for us to do, because right now you can't, where do you draw the line? Which person do you say, hey, get off the street? Well, I think it's a person you arrest 3 times in a day and let go. Probably need to be in a place that's safe for them and us. And we need to spend the money to do that. And all these other things, we're trying. Everybody's trying. It's like one church is doing this, a group of churches is doing that. The city council's passing these rules, and I don't want to get in the weeds, but the county provides mental health services to the best of our ability with the funding we're given. We're having a very difficult time hiring the experts to help people. They're very limited, and they get a lot of money. Because they're limited, it's a cost and demand. So I think the hardest question for local citizens and local politicians to really answer is, how do we convince state and federal people to start building these institutions, even if they're small in size, in our communities, where we can get these people off the streets, get them the medical need, the help, and help our society be safer and be safer for them. I just don't see anybody taking that on. I just don't. There's no place. For example, we have people show up at the hospital, right? There's no bed space for them, especially a minor. And they could be a violent minor. And that's a terrible thing for the hospital now. And it's a terrible thing for us, and it's a terrible thing for their family. And we don't have that bed space. And I think you would see a dramatic, I was at a seminar where they told what a dramatic change it was to community when they got the 5 worst mentally ill homeless that created crime every day off the street, because they had a safe place to put them, and they had supervision and a judge-ordered medication if necessary, how their crime just completely stopped. Because most homeless are out of sight, out of mind, aren't even bothering it. They've always been here. Some people choose to be homeless, and they don't bother people. I'm off of that. And veterans, hell yeah, let's give them a place to live. I'll do anything to help a veteran.